everybody. Welcome to another edition of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as He/We, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy Podcast. And this time I'm looking at Chapter 146 of Claymore, The Sustenance of the Weak. And not a lot of big plot developments happen in this chapter. A lot of it is just Claire kind of coming to terms with what Genevieve said to her in the last chapter, that she's not doing as well because now she has something to live for, and that's making her hold back a little bit. And so we see scenes of, Claire's band of Claymores and the few major awakened on the battlefield all attacking Priscilla as she kind of slowly ramps up her power, interspersed with Claire's kind of flashback and once again processing what she has learned. And so everybody keeps kind of nicking Priscilla, which only makes her step up her game, and we can kind of see her go from warrior Priscilla to full-on awakened Priscilla by the end of the chapter. And so a lot of the people once again land solid nicks, but nothing good enough to even really super phase Priscilla, who's kind of taunting everybody as she fights these guys. And at the end, Claire kind of has the revelation that she's kind of lost the reckless abandon and the power that gave her, but she's gained, new powers, which is, not super surprising in a series like this. But she's gained a new power of fighting alongside everybody, and she, saves one of her fellow Claymores from getting utterly destroyed by Priscilla, and kind of the chapter ends there, and we're told, we're not going to get another chapter till I think March, so it's going to go on break for a little while, but probably not the worst thing in the world, actually, because the series probably has, a few more solid months in it. Definitely. I mean, this isn't going to end in a chapter or two, but I can't think it has more than a book left. So a few months to kind of solidly sit down and work on how you're going to wrap things up is probably for the best, you want to end strong. So I definitely applaud them for that decision to, take a break, and just plot out everything so it really works well. A lot of manga can't have that luxury. Mangaka live from chapter to chapter, book sale to book sale, so a lot of them just gotta do it to pay their assistants and pay their bills, keep the lights on. But if you have the ability to just take a break and just kind of rest. I mean, a lot of TV series we've been seeing have been doing that too, like let us take a hiatus and then end this series right. It works for some and it doesn't work for others, but at least they put in the effort to try to end things well. And I think there's a fairly straight road to the end, but even then, there's ways to go on that straight road that are very satisfying in ways that can leave a bad taste in your mouth. So hopefully we will get the ending that we need for this series. But two big things I wanted to mention. One, once again, Claymore is really good with kind of the body horror. Not like full on super skeevy stuff that you might find in something like MPD Psycho, that is like totally and utterly like, almost as scary as you're gonna get in manga, but just kind of super unsettling, kind of like mid-level MPD Psycho. Like if you see like just Priscilla and kind of half in between being warrior form and being awakened, there's just something weirdly off about her body. But it's purposely supposed to be that way. It wasn't like she's supposed to be beautiful or horrible. It's just supposed to be like unnervingly in between beautiful and horrible. And when you see kind of the other, big major awakened, I get that same feeling. There's something about Priscilla's kind of like half anatomical model smile there that really brings home the creepy. And once again, some of the other awakened just have these weird body shapes that are disturbing. I don't think anybody would be super scared by them, but they're just unnerving, and the series is pretty good at that. And the other thing is, I'm kind of glad that it isn't a straight out fully powered Priscilla versus Claire fight, because I just feel like when you hype up someone like Priscilla, that she is kind of the awakened that even the other awakened fear, and just like how she's just wiped everybody else that she's fought. If you have Claire, who went from like the weakest Claymore to kind of like an awesome Claymore, but not the most powerful Claymore, I feel like if she just beat Priscilla one-on-one, it would just feel like plot convenience. But the fact that basically Claire, who's definitely powered up, definitely better than when, the manga starts, would just take on Priscilla, would just feel fake, her winning. But since Priscilla has to go through pretty much an army, she has to go through all these awakened beings and all her other claymores basically at the same time, all chipping away at her. When, when these awakened beings are just totally wrecked by Priscilla, and probably maybe we're going to lose a few more of the main members. Hopefully not Helen and Genevieve, because they're just like the awesomest characters, and if they died, I wouldn't be like, manga over, but I don't know, they're definitely my favorite characters in the series. They're the ones I'm rooting for the most. Like, no, you two have to live. You don't have plot armor like Rocky and Claire. You can be killed, so don't die. But yeah, after a few of these Claymores die, it'll feel like Claire will probably deliver, the final blow, But it wasn't like she just went one-on-one with Priscilla. She basically needed an army to wear her down and then finally be able to fight this kind of weakened Priscilla, which doesn't sound super cool. It almost sounds kind of cowardly, but I feel it's the only realistic way, from the way they've set her up, for her to beat Priscilla. And in that regard, I really like it. I think that's what you needed to do with the way the series set it up. Because, you just can't, unless you just want to give, like Claire, just totally BS power after power after power, which I think is definitely the worst way. But if you're going to have, like, a super powered person like this be defeated like someone like Claire, this is the most logical and satisfying way to do it. So, Probably not going to be any Claymore reviews for a while. But like I said, I mean, I'd rather not be able to review Claymore and not be able to read Claymore for a while if that kind of break is going to make sure that everything gets handled the best way possible. All right. As most of the manga magazines are on hiatus for New Year's, I'm probably going to look at a few series that I always meant to read or meant to review, but I never get around to. So I'll look forward to some 87 clockers and March Comes Like a Lion in the interim. All right. See you guys next time.